Greetings and felicitations.
Okay, here comes the first round.
Boom. And
Jeez, that was just
Boom.
unnecessary.
You kidding me? You can't be out of range? What?
Greetings and felicitations, YouTube. You're all of the Appian Way here with a battle that's over so fast, blink, and you'll miss it. This is me playing as Sparta versus a random opponent as Ithaca. And he brought up something that I kind of want to show you guys and be like, hey, look, if you're trying to play as Ithaca, because this isn't the only time this has happened to me, I wanted to give you some better advice on how to play Ithaca, basically. And it's not just this guy. I have another replay I'm going to show right after this one, because this one is only 3 minutes long. There are times where strategies like this are going to work out for you, and there are times where it won't. I mean, I'm not going to say that this was the worst idea ever. It could have worked out if I had brought a different army and if I didn't react as quickly to it. But let's quickly just kind of go over what happened here in this battle and the next battle, and I'll try and tell you like some ways that I think you could improve your game as an Ithaca player. Okay, so he brought, what is this? This is 6 heavy sword skirmishers, 2 warriors of Ithaca, and he deployed them as close as he could to my central deployment area. I think he was fairly efficiently able to guess where I was going to deploy my army based on this map. I could have deployed over here, or I could have deployed over here, and you see that I did put some of my forces there, but he wanted to put 8 infantry right in my face right away, and support them with ambushers from this cliffside position. There's a pair of them here. As well, in a very, very protected position, he has 3 bowmen, Odysseus on foot, and reinforced skirmish chariots back behind them in the most protected spot in this entire map. And for me, playing as Sparta, I brought some units that I normally never bring because I wanted to see if I could pull off my own kind of like, my own snobbish little, oh, you think you can ambush? Well, I also happen to have forward deploying stock units in the form of warriors of Artemis, and I was going to escort them closely with light spear runners. And I brought a medium chariot because I know that Ithaca's true power rests in its medium infantry and less, so I thought I might be able to get away with some chariots, and I gave them 4 XP chevrons just to make sure they've got that morale up to 60, so they'll have a little bit of standing power. Speaking of standing power, the girth of my army, I brought 2 heroic axe warriors, an armored spearman, and I did remember to put the shields, or keep the shields in the front, because I know that every unit in the Odysseus roster has some kind of missile attack, almost every unit. There's the Cyclops. I brought a fighter vanquisher hero, because I kind of guessed my opponent might bring Odysseus, and this is a great way to end Odysseus' shenanigans. And I brought 2 Laconian hillmen for their fear-causing abilities. I ended up deploying them right next to my mainline infantry because I didn't feel like I had a better place to put them, so I thought I'll just keep them in the tall grass right next to my main force here and march them up with them. Now, as you can see, the battle kicks off and everybody's throwing javelins. My units were very quick to react. I had them on fire at will, and they already sent off their first volley, and I'm just going to go ahead and hit play. Here we go. And here comes the rain of javelins, just absolutely pouring in on us. He instantly orders all of his units to attack. He's going to put them forward. I'm going to start moving forward where I see I can have some engagements in my favor. I'm charging into my Cyclops, moving everybody in here. Cyclops instantly gets into the throw of things here. My hero gets into the throw of things. He has more infantry than I do out here, and I also found his ambushers, so I'm going to charge in with my light spear runners. He's turned his ambushers around to try and throw some javelins at my chariots, but my chariots are also going to get engaged in this, and they're going to get involved. My Laconian hillmen, they get beat very quickly. The heavy sword skirmishers, more than a match for the Laconian hillmen. Laconian hillmen will rout out of there. I've got 2 units and a Cyclops holding off 2 warriors of Ithaca and 2 heavy sword skirmishers. And I just need them to hold for a little bit, because where I'm actually going to start winning this battle is on the flanks. So over here, I've already dealt with the 2 ambushers. My Cyclops is throwing boulders long ways into this battle. He's already up to 47 kills. That might have been his second boulder, but he's also getting a ton of kills against these warriors of Ithaca. My hero is out here now chasing after this broken heavy sword skirmisher, but is going to get into the rest of the battle. These 2 heavy sword skirmishers are going to flank and get around this heroic axe warrior. The reinforced skirmish chariots gets a little bit too close to my hero. I'm going to go ahead and attack with this. The bowmen, I'm not intimidated. They're going to start shooting at my hero. This is the wrong target for them. I wouldn't have brought them to begin with, but their ammo is wasted on a hero. And I see Odysseus has come all the way up here, so I'm going to attack him and put him into a divine challenge, and that's just going to wrap him up. And meanwhile, the archers and the reinforced skirmish chariots are just going to go ahead and fire their ammo into this, and I'm okay with that because those arrows are just as likely to hit Odysseus, if you ask me. I put my warriors of Artemis up here on this hill, and I have them shooting down into the reinforced skirmish chariots. I have my chariots closely escorting my light spear runners. I stop with my light spear runners, give them a chance to fire off their javelins, and get my chariots in there. Boom, there's the charge, and then I'm going to put my light spear runners into this. They're going to be wrapped up. As you can see, the ambushers are already gone. My Cyclops is up to 84 kills and counting. I am picking up boulders every so often, like right here, chucking it. Oh no, my camera! I just moved my hand to the wrong key at just the wrong second there. My apologies, but as you can see, the effect is still there. Routed the heavy sword skirmisher, and the Cyclops now up to 95 kills and absolutely pounding away at these warriors of Ithaca. The divine challenge is still going over here. Odysseus is still wrapped up. The bowmen are hoping they could deal with this now, as I've shattered the reinforced skirmish chariots, but now these guys are free to just come down here and attack this. I'm repositioning my warriors of Artemis, which I barely even got to use. And my Laconian hillmen have regrouped. They're helping me clean all of this up. I've got these heavy sword skirmishers and warriors of Ithaca dealt with. My Cyclops is just kind of looking for his next meal. He's made it to 100 kills in just 3 minutes of fighting here. All that's left for him to do is to try chucking another boulder. There it goes. Boom! Lands on those routing heavy sword skirmishers, and we'll see how many kills that actually net him. 0. It got him 0 additional kills. Unfortunately, that was a friendly fire boulder, if ever I've seen it. I managed 58 kills with the chariots. I like seeing that. Very much so. I had to do almost 150 kills with all 3 of my heavy infantry. My light spear runners practically untouched, 150 kills and then some. 150 kills almost between my 2 Laconian hillmen. And my Vanquisher got his kills before eliminating Odysseus from the rest of the battle. Yes, so I don't begrudge him for trying this strategy. I don't. I begrudge him for bringing the units that he did. If he had brought fewer heavy sword skirmishers and more warriors of Ithaca, between 4 and 6, since this is a regular multiplayer battle, you can bring as many warriors of Ithaca as you like. 6 is the cap for quick battles. 4 is the cap for the 4400 rules that I like using. So at the bare minimum, you should be bringing 4, is my opinion about the warriors of Ithaca. Bowmen, as you can see here, 1 kill. They did not add anything to this battle whatsoever. Reinforced skirmish chariots, there's situations where this unit will be good to you. Against an army that has heavy infantry options, not a good pick. So I would not take a reinforced skirmish chariot against Sparta. Ambushers, okay. Unfortunately for him, I just got the better of them with my light spear runners. Now, had I been a little bit slower to react, or if I didn't have as good of a micro, his strategy could have worked. Maybe if I had deployed my army wider, if I had more of my infantry off on the flanks and just left my 3 heavy infantry there, they would have been in a ton of trouble facing down all of that. It could be a coin toss. And even still, if I wasn't as quick to react, and if I didn't have a plan for how to deal with that after it happened, it might have worked out for him. But the problem is that I feel like I was just too good of an opponent for it. I hate saying stuff like that. Like I don't like tooting my own horn, but I feel like if you're going to do that, it's only going to work against an inexperienced player. I think there's better ways to use Ithaca's Vanguard deployment rather than the surprise attack right from the very get-go. Which, again, it can work. It can work. I just don't think it was the best play, and I don't think it was the best way to execute that play either. Let's look at another Ithaca battle I had recently, which is, I think, way more interesting. The second battle is Ithaca versus my Paris, and let me just tell you, when this battle kicked off, I did not anticipate this. It looked like when I had joined the lobby that the game was going to be at Arkoi, and I didn't think if it passed that. You know, just a regular normal island with one mud patch on it. I didn't anticipate mudlands, and I certainly didn't anticipate rain. I forgot to look for that. And he brought an army uniquely situated to this map. He brought 10 Renowned Slingers, 4 Warriors of Ithaca, 4 Island Club Warriors, and a Warlord Commander hero. This is, by the way, just under 12,400. This is a legal army. Like, he didn't change the funds on me at the last second. I don't even know that he changed the map on me at the last second. That could have just been me not paying attention. But his plan here, and I like that he's made a plan, is to kill me as I cross the mud. He's got the Warriors of Ithaca to hold the line, and the Island Club Warriors to reinforce them as needed. He's picked units that I can't see from the get-go, meaning that what he's hoping I'll do is I'll just look at his army and be like, oh, all he brought was Renowned Slingers? Well, I'm just going to charge. And then he'll catch me off guard with the Warriors of Ithaca, the Island Club Warriors, and they'll hold me in position while the Renowned Slingers and the Warlord Commander do all of the killing work. Never mind that the Warriors of Ithaca are going to be doing some killing work themselves. I'm no better. When I saw the 10 Renowned Slingers, I was like, are you kidding me? What is this? But I knew right away, if I were to just go into the mud, I'd die crossing the mud. And I could tell if that's his strategy, he's not going to want to leave his position. So, because I was anticipating Arkoi, I brought a very different army than I normally would as Ithaca. I wanted to be a little bit cheeky. I wanted to try and find a way to play Ithaca's game better than Ithaca by bringing Warriors of Artemis. I brought 2 XP chevrons on each one. Their Vanguard deployment stock unit. I brought 4 Giant Vanguard, a Giant Champion, a Cyclops, and a Fighter Ravager hero for a lot of fear-causing power, as well as 4 Phrygian Warriors, which are also for fear-causing power. And then I brought a Heavy Trojan Chariot. Well, as soon as I loaded in and I saw that I was on the Mudlands, what I did with them was I hid them. You can hide chariots? Why, yes you can. Here's what you do. You put them behind a hill. You put them behind a hill and you just leave them there for a while. And that was my plan. You can't hide them in trees. They won't hide in trees. But if you put the terrain in the way, your opponent won't know that they are there. He can't see any of my army presently because I did my best to, either move them or deploy them out here in the tree lines. And I'm sitting here looking at this army going, the heck am I going to do about this? Here comes the rain. Here comes their forces. He does move his Island Club Warriors, so I do know that he's brought them now. I'm trying to do math in my head. I'm like, can you actually get away with this many Renowned Slingers? And sure enough, you can. They only cost about 500 and some change. He knows I have forces moving out here in this tree line, and that's what I want him to know. I know that if I were to just go straight into the mud, I'd end up dying for it. So I have to be very cagey and very coy and try and find my way across this mud. So my plan, as it's developing, is to advance as far down here as I can and maybe look for a narrow gap here with which I can cross my forces. So you can see I am moving my army here, and I'm eventually just going to kind of sweep them around like this. I've got my 2 Warriors of Artemis here, and I'm actually going to break them off, since they have stock, and get them up here. And I realize that with their stock and snipe, I can use them to fight the Renowned Slingers. Because the Renowned Slingers might have the ranged advantage, but if they can't see the Warriors of Artemis without getting close enough to them, my Warriors of Artemis might actually be able to kill off some of them. I don't think they'd have enough killing power to kill all of them. I don't think that's in the cards. But they certainly would be able to distract my opponent. I move out a Phrygian Warrior here just so he realizes that I'm not just holding still. I want him to realize that I am maneuvering forces and that I am doing things, because sometimes battles will just look like static messes, and your opponent, if they can't see your army, will just sit there and go, come at me or lose, come at me or concede. And sometimes you'll get people shouting insults at each other across positions where they're like, you're camping, stop camping. None of that happened in this battle. I went ahead and I moved out my Phrygian Warriors just so he could stare at them for a second, see what I'm thinking of, see what I'm about. I'm moving up my Warriors of Artemis. I decided my Warriors of Artemis are going to be able to act unimpeded, I need to actually move the Phrygian warriors away from there. So I'm going to have them regroup over here with the rest of the Phrygian warriors. I want him to be able to see them. They're light infantry. The mud isn't going to hurt them as much, and they're far enough away that the renowned slingers can't really hurt them. I'm also considering moving up my giant champions, my Cyclops. I'm thinking about moving them up there as well. I'm trying to give him things to look at right now, because right now I have a strategy, and that is to make a big display on my left and say, hey, look over here, what's up? You want to come fight me over here? And then quickly get my chariots across on the right. That's my big plan, because I think if I can get my heavy chariots over here, and he doesn't know about them, I might be able to get over here and then just ruin all of his forces, because I know there's going to be warriors of Ithaca over here. I'm counting on it. All right, so here goes my first blood. I've got my warriors of Artemis up here. They're not hidden anymore, but they are making some kills here. They are causing some damage. The renowned slingers are close enough. Okay, actually they were hidden. They only just now saw them, and they're turning around to engage, and I realize, having been caught out, I need to run away, because these 10 slingers will obliterate my warriors of Artemis. So I'm falling back now. I'm playing it coy, I'm playing it casual, I'm playing it cheeky. I only managed about 5 kills, and look at the damage I've taken right away. Boom. A lot of health lost, only 2 casualties received, and he turns around. My warriors of Artemis are now hidden again, and they can't be shot at, so they're free to just go ahead and attack again. And that's what I'm going for here. I turn him around, I'm going to attack again. He's moving his army over this way because he sees I brought my guys out of the trees and into the mud. I have him standing here right where he can see me. I'm going to fall back a bit because I know his range on his renowned slingers, 180, is formidable. And I don't just want to let my lightly armored, unshielded infantry just get obliterated, you know. So I find the singled out renowned slinger. I don't know what his plan was with that unit, but because it was singled out, I'm free to just go ahead and start shooting at it with my warriors of Artemis. It's singled out here. Maybe I can defeat it. He's going to go ahead and try and fall back from all of those sniping shots. His slingers are looking for where they want to be positioned, right? They don't. I feel like he doesn't really know what to do with them. It's at this stage, we're close to it, that I'm going to go ahead. Yep, there it is. I realize I have my opportunity. He has all of his forces really kind of bunched up over here. His slingers look like they don't know what they're doing. It's my best opportunity to cross. So I activate my chariots. I'm hoping that he's watching my forces over here. He's looking at my little song and dance routine and paying attention to my warriors of Artemis, maybe watching out for them. They're both hidden again. I actually have them almost halfway across the mud at this stage. Their speed is actually at a 44 right now, and I'm still causing damage. And it looks like he's trying to position his renowned slinger so that he can kill off my Phrygian warriors. So I'm sure enough, I'm going to fall back. I had my finger hovering over that space bar because I really don't want to just let the renowned slingers kill me. It just will not work out for me in the long run. My warriors of Artemis, they've now crossed the mud, and they are causing more damage to these renowned slingers. They don't like this. They're going to turn around. They're going to try and engage me. Man, these renowned slingers got their feet very wet in the mud, and it's giving me every possible opportunity to get my chariots across. But I have them, as you can see, their move order is going to send them out this way. I've got both my warriors of Artemis split up so that they can't just shoot both of them. One of them still remaining hidden. I'm keeping my forces kind of protected here. He sees that I've gotten my chariots now trying to shoot this gap, and he is racing with his troops to get over here into a position where he can stop this crossing from happening. But my warriors of Artemis, they keep giving these island club warriors something to think about. These renowned slingers, something to think about. He's going to start opening fire. I see the javelins come off the warriors of Ithaca, so I'm like, oh, nope, I'm not sticking around here. This unit's still hidden, which is why it's still firing, but I realize it's not going to stay that way. Time to fall back. Yep, sure enough, he's opening fire on it. I just kept doing this this advance and retreat, advance and retreat, advance and retreat. I've managed 8 kills here, and I've managed 8 kills here. It's not phenomenal, but it is giving me the opportunity to make crossings like this. So my chariots, let's look at their progress. With their speed of 22, they've made it halfway across the mud. And because he's put all of his melee forces over here, as far as I can tell, I am now crossing the mud with my light infantry, my Cyclops, my Giants, my fighters. I'm going for it. I'm going all in now. I'm trying to make my crossing. It's just slingers after all. They do see what's coming in. I throw off a boulder. I don't even have to aim very carefully because everything's just so grouped up. And he sees that I'm already more than halfway across, and he didn't even get an opportunity to turn them around to shoot. My light infantry is going to sprint this gap, and that's going to spell certain doom for the renowned slingers. Meanwhile, he's got his infantry over here, and he realizes, oh great, I got baited by my opportunity to fight the heavy Trojan chariots. I didn't realize he was actually going to cross Zeus, cracking the battlefield with the thunderbolt. Here we go. It's about to get gross. Let's get some close-ups. The Cyclops is leading the charge here. I have him stop at the last second to chuck a boulder because why the heck not? They're all grouped up so much I don't even have to aim very carefully. He's up to 23 kills already. And my Phrygian warriors will have no problem catching all of these renowned slingers. He's pulled all of his infantry back now to try and save his slingers. He has to do this. And I'm moving up my Warriors of Artemis. I'm hoping they can target out and shoot some Island Club Warriors or some Warriors of Ithaca in the back. My chariots are now across. I've gotten them over here. I'm going to retarget my infantry to go after his melee infantry. And leave the renowned slingers, let them just continue to rout, let them continue to fall back, because I know my heavy Trojan chariots, they're going to be in position here any second. There goes another boulder from my Cyclops. I'm up to 36 kills with them. My Warriors of Artemis are shooting into the backs of these Warriors of Ithaca. I activate my blood sacrifice with my fighter hero. Here comes the Warlord Commander trying to support his forces. My giant champions out here are in danger of getting outflanked, and I also have more giants coming. That's right, here comes my giant vanguard. All 4 units are now pulling in here, and you can see the morale is really looking weak on these renowned slingers, and this might be the reason why. They might have predicted that this was going to happen. I get my my heavy Trojan chariots right into their flank, and I'm going to have them attack all the way down this line here. Iron Club Warriors versus Giant Vanguard. These are 2 500 funds units, pretty much just duking it out. My Giants aren't going to do so well in the long run. As you can see over here, the 2 Warriors of Ithaca are more than a match for a Phrygian Warrior. And this giant champion is in a ton of trouble. But I at least do have some firing support coming from the Warriors of Artemis. This tree formation here, though, is obstructing their view. I activate a Terrorize on the... Oh, was that on my Phrygian Warriors? No, it's on... Who's that? It's activated on somebody. I just can't see the unit anymore. Oh, here it is. It's that Warrior of Ithaca. It's now shattered out. And look at this. The Island Club Warriors, they defeat my Giant Vanguard, showing me that I might have given these guys a little bit too much credit, but I do beat this Island Club Warrior. So it was maybe a 50-50. I'm going to have this Giant Vanguard target this Island Club Warrior now get into this. Look at my chariots. They're just going back and forth down the line, fighting this battle like it's a typewriter. Ching! Run them all down. Keep getting them. Keep killing them. They're up to 178 kills. That's right. I'm going to flex for a second. I brought heavy chariots to the Mudlands and made over 180 kills. Eat it. Eat your heart out. I love it. And the Cyclops now, he shattered the Warlord Commander hero. While my Fighter Ravager is recovering some of his health. I almost lost him to the Warlord Commander. I've got him out here now killing the renowned slingers. Cyclops is going to continue to chase the Warlord Commander. Zeus is throwing more thunderbolts in the background. I think he's made his case. He's very upset about this battle. Cyclops kills that hero. Where is his body? It's kind of lost in all the... There he is. There's that sad, sad lion-headed man. And there's the battle. Right before my Cyclops could throw a celebratory boulder. There it is. There it is. Now then, let's talk about the strategy here and how he could have done that better. So yeah, I actually like the infantry picks. I like the 4 Warriors of Ithaca. I like the 4 Island Club Warriors. I even like the Warlord Commander. I think he didn't make the best use out of his abilities. What I don't like are the 10 renowned slingers. That was too much. And as you can see here, 6, 9, 14, 16, 17 kills. 5,000, more than 5,000 points of his army. 16 kills. 680 troops. 16 kills. His strategy could have worked if I played into his hand. The problem was that he was telegraphing it. I knew too easily what his plan was just by looking at the battlefield. There wasn't really a good opportunity for him to pull that off. My jersey fell. If he had brought more sword skirmishers, heavy sword skirmishers, or if he had simply brought more Island Club Warriors, I think ambushers, honestly, yeah. Let me take all of that back. What I just said, ambushers, exemplary ambushers, guys that can be hidden in the open field, and he had them at the mud line, and he would have forced me to commit my forces to be in the mud just to see his ambushers and see them too late, because then they would have been throwing their javelins already. That would have worked out for him here. And it would have made it a lot harder for me to tell how I was going to cross the Mudlands, because I had to build a strategy for crossing the Mudlands, and it worked near flawlessly. I was outnumbered 3-1 in this battle. That's a huge, huge problem. But the fact that he put all of that power, all of his hopes on the backs of his renowned slingers, that's just not good enough, my friend. I'm sorry to say. Had he been able to actually bring them to target against my Phrygian warriors, I would have lost. But the thing is that I kept him distracted. My warriors of Artemis and my heavy Trojan chariots were able to find that moment of crossing, and then they were the distraction to allow the rest of my army to get close enough to his renowned slingers. So yeah, Ithaca, some advice I can give you. It's good to have a plan, but remember that the first casualty in every battle is always the plan. Have a backup. Have a reliable alternative in mind. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket, alright? Anyway, I hope you found those battles interesting. I thought they were very interesting, and I really wanted to talk about both. And I also wanted an opportunity to show off the Warriors of Artemis. This is a unit with some utility, even if they're not the best. So yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts about these battles, about how you would play Ithaca, what your suggestions would be for these players, and you know, just kind of the general sense of like whatever tips or ideas you might have for Ithaca in general. I like what I saw from both players. I liked that they had a plan. It's just a shame that I had a counter strategy figured out pretty quickly. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I hope you found that interesting. I certainly did. Ta-ta, I love you all, and I'll see you guys in the next one.